Hey, Dr. Osborne here. Today, viewer Ann writes in her question, Dr. Osborne, what can be done about high blood pressure naturally? So this is a big topic. I've talked about this in great detail in many other videos on the channel. I'll put a link over here at the end of this video where you can dive into it in a much deeper way. But I want to summarize a few things for Ann. Number one, the studies that show blood pressure medication, or rather blood pressure can be reduced, are called the DASH studies. This is just a long series of research studies that have been going on for decades now. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, hypertension being high blood pressure. Now, what these studies show is that people who eat processed food and MSG and excessive salt and don't get enough magnesium, potassium, and calcium have higher blood pressure. So if you really want some of the best take home for that is to make sure that you're eating foods that are rich in calcium, magnesium, and potassium and minimizing processed food. And I would even say this, minimize your processed food and your blood pressure will most likely go down. That I've not seen that fail a single time in 20 years of visiting with people and helping them nutritionally resolve blood pressure issues. Now, beyond that, there are certain factors that I want you to understand about if you're being treated for high blood pressure. So there are certain classes of medications that we know if you take long-term that are designed to treat blood pressure will actually cause high blood pressure if you take them long enough. And one of those classes of medications are called diuretics. And one of the things that diuretics do if you're on them long enough, so for example, furosemide is a type of diuretic, hydrochlorothiazide is a type of diuretic. Some of these drugs will cause potassium loss. And what I just told you, which is the DASH studies show that low potassium can lead to high blood pressure. So you're taking a drug to lower your blood pressure that also causes low potassium that can elevate your blood pressure. The drug effectiveness will start to wear off and your blood pressure will start creeping up. And what happens with many people on blood pressure medications is they end up on multiple medications because their original drug stopped working, so the doctor adds in layers of new drugs. So diuretics cause potassium deficiency. Some of them cause zinc deficiency, B vitamin deficiency. One of the big ones is vitamin B1. And vitamin B1 deficiency causes congestive heart failure. So again, if you're taking medicines to treat your blood pressure to reduce your risk of developing heart disease, but the medicine causes a nutritional deficiency, in this case vitamin B1 deficiency, that leads to congestive heart failure, what are you really accomplishing? You're not really accomplishing much. So again, it's important to understand that if you're taking medicines to lower your blood pressure, but the side effects of those medications have effects on your heart in a negative way, you're actually going to be spinning your own tail. So best thing you can do is have a lengthy conversation with your doc that's prescribing that drug about the potential side effects of that medication, what nutrients are depleted, and what are the side effects long-term for your heart, and what are the actual risks of taking that medication long-term on your nutritional status. And if your doctor's not willing to have that conversation, you might just look for a different doctor because, again, that is a very important element if you're trying to overcome blood pressure dysregulation. Now, the third part that I want to talk about for blood pressure is exercise. Look, we live in a society where sitting is the norm, right? Most people sit at a desk for anywhere between 6 and 10 hours a day, and they're very poor as it relates to regular activity. So they're not getting regular movement, regular motion, and activity. And one of the things that helps us regulate blood pressure and bring blood pressure down is muscle tone. So the stronger and the better muscle mass that you have, now you don't have to go around looking like a Hulk. You just have to have lean mass. It helps regulate your blood pressure, and that movement helps to keep your resting blood pressure, your diastolic pressure, that bottom number, helps to keep it low. So consistent exercise becomes a very important piece of modulating and regulating blood pressure. So 3 things, right? Make sure that your nutritional status is minimized as far as processed food, MSG, and excessive salt are concerned. Now, I'm not talking about healthy salt. I'm talking about processed, iodized, white, chlorine, bleached salt, and MSG, processed food-based salts. Number 2, have your doctor have a conversation with you about the nutrient depleting side effects of many of these medications. And the best case scenario is to ask your doctor to run tests to measure to see whether or not you've developed vitamin and mineral deficiencies from the blood pressure medications that you're on that could contribute to your blood pressure. And then number 3, exercise. Movement will lower your blood pressure in a very, very big way. So apply those 3 easy strategies. Watch this video in more detail if you want to get more info, more beef about how to deal with blood pressure in a natural way. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Look, when you subscribe, we'll notify you when we have great new videos and content coming out for you. This is Dr. Osborne wishing you a great day and excellent health.